today's episode of Big Man Simple Projects, I have a box. Of course, you know it's winter time in the south, so by the time you start preparing for the winter season, it's 70 degrees warmer again. So, what I have in this box here today was what I had ordered last week when it was like 20 degrees outside. And got myself a little fire pit. This was, I believe, somewhere in the $110, $120 range on Amazon, but it's pretty cool. Came up and postman just tossed it on the porch and it's like, okay, it's here. Oh man. If you're wondering why I'm using scissors, can't find my pocket knife. Catch me. Alright. So, what do we have here in this box? If I had to guess, it's the grill. I will say, it's very neatly packed for something that only costs like 120 bucks. This is the Kylokity 35-inch wood burning fire pit with grill attachment. That's kind of why I wanted to buy this one, because it has its own little grill that you can cook your marshmallows and stuff on. This has to be a cover for when you're not using the fire pit. I bet. Yep. These look to be more covers and arms and stands and all sorts of good, lovely things. Set that over there. And we have a box, another box. That's probably all the hardware. Foam. Gotta love it. More hardware. Here's one of the grills. I believe this is a 14-inch barbecue grill. I think the other one's probably in that box that I just tossed there. There's a 14 and then an 18, I think. Lord knows they sent enough cardboard for me to test this thing out with. Must be legs or something. Yep. And then we got the grill, the smoker, the whatever you want to call it. This thing is huge. I was considering just buying a burn barrel, but I'm kind of glad I got this. Now, I am not sponsored by whoever this is, Kylokity, something like that, Hello Kitty. I'm just going to call it the Hello Kitty for now. But it's pretty good construction. I will say the metal is a bit on the thinner side, but you know, it's not too terribly bad. Alright, get out of here. Yep. Alrighty. So, biggest problem is I need to figure out where I just put those instructions at. Yeah, Kylokity 35-inch wood burning grill, WHB0116 if you want to follow along at home. And I have a feeling this thing is going to be the IKEA of all wood grills. Instructions. I think we need instructions. We're going to hold on to them just in case. But, first things first, look at this bowl. that is a piece of work. Alright, let's see. This looks like old rusty hardware. It's kind of weird that it's already rusted when it comes to me, but you know what? It's going outside anyway, so I'm not 100% worried about it. Let's see here, what's in this box? If I had to guess, hardware. Let's see. Yep, hardware and tools. How nice. Oh, and they got wing nut bolts. How thoughtful of them. Ooh, we got handles for the grills. That's pretty neat. There's another one of them. And we got our 4 legs. Kind of tubular. Let's see if I can get this thing up off the ground here. I guess it would help if I got out the necessary hardware. Just going to kind of loosely put it together. I'm sure there's going to be steps that I have to follow in a certain order, at a certain time, in a certain place. All that good stuff.
And there's just a bolt sticking on the top of these tubes. 2 bolts actually. But I want one to thread these nuts onto. Pretty simple design. Yep, that's a leg. Let's see, what about that? Another one.
Now, I know you'll see on YouTube videos, I bought the cheapest, I bought this cheapest, I bought blah blah blah. Now, I don't claim this to be the cheapest one on Amazon. There's probably like a bucket that you can buy, a 5-gallon bucket for $2 or something. But I would say that this ventures along the line of the cheapest actual nice piece of furniture. You know.
3 legs. There's the 4th leg. There is a scratch on one of these. I don't know if I just did that, but there is a scratch on one of the legs.
But it'll be okay. Alright, so we have the legs installed. You know what? Where'd those instructions go? Of course, when I need them, they go fine. Here they are. Oh! Alright, so we have the legs. And around the legs, there appears to be this little hoop thing. So, I imagine that's what these rusty parts are for, is to hold the little hoop thing. So I guess, go ahead and get these out. Once again, I'm not mad about it being rusty. It would have been nice if it was, you know, clean, but it's going outside, and I guarantee you give it a month or 2 and it'll be rusty again anyway. Just a second here. Alright. Now, I wanted to go inside and get one of my trusty screwdrivers. They may send one in this box, but I've already got one that I like, so. And this is a Craftsman that came out of one of those holiday gift box, toolbox things. It's actually pretty good. Anywho, see here. I believe we need this little square. Are we recording? We better be recording. Yeah, we're recording. All right. Action. Okay, so I don't think it really matters which orientation these little hoops go on, because they seem to be the same to me either way around.
Getting somewhere. Right, one more. I guess it's just kind of adds some style and identity to the barbecue. I just realized something. There's holes on the bottoms, or on whatever sides of these loops. Don't you hate it when you almost get finished assembling something and then you notice something? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'll figure out what that means here. I did just drop a bolt, however. And it disappeared. Nope. Here it is.
Alright. So looking at the pictures, all these holes needed to be facing upwards. So let's all make them face upwards.
My plate's just 2 screws apiece. I think I might have accidentally done that with a couple of these. Those 2 are right. Those 2, of course, are wrong. So I guess we'll just have to redo.
So now that all those are mounted face up, I gotta get these tubes back here. Tubes. And get them open somehow. Like that, that's it. Makes a very lousy horn. Nope, don't do any good that way. So I do believe that it's just round, around, around, around.
clear. This goes here. And then we have
a loose idea of what this is supposed to look like. I say loose because I still got to fix it. Somehow get in there. Alright. I see. These pipes have come out of round a little bit, it seems. Alright. Now
we have a stand with some food on. Let's see here. These are more of these little screws. Go around the whole thing. So I need my handy dandy screwdriver back. Screw, 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 screw. Screw, 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 screw. Alright, there's one. There's 4.
it has a hoop on it now. We can play hula hoop with the grill. Alright. Now, after I clean off my glasses briefly, it is time that we start assembling some other pieces here. What's in this box? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm wondering that too. Looks like we have a stand of some sort. Sure, we'll figure that out here in a little bit. It's got shelving. To go around the edges. Well, ain't that just pretty? Right. Looks like there's 4 of those. Boy, so much plastic, so much tape. Ah. Whatever. Alright. All that can go away. Alright. So it looks like these just kind of do that little number. Very pretty, very pretty. I wonder if I should put these together first and then put them on the grill. Let's try that. So there's a hole on either end of these, and on the other end there's a welded nut. I'm just going to get the 2 of them lined up just right so you start being able to thread that bolt in. I can already tell this is going to be a fun part of this whole endeavor. Thread all these together. Move on to the next one. sitting here. So let's try that. Oh, yes. Okay, and we're looking for just like that. I need start over here. Trouble with this bolt. There we go. Work. We're going to be friends. We're just going to sit here and fight. We're friends. Yay. Okay. This next one is just a repeat of the same thing. Just a fight to get it started first, and then all right. That looks pretty good. Now, where those little pegs poke down into the grill, because right now I can sit here and take this whole thing off, where they poke down into the grill, I do believe that there's more pilot holes for us to thread a locking bolt in. Let me look at the instructions, see if that's the right bolt I need to use. Let's see here. No, it was not. My apologies. You don't want to use the little black bolts. You want to use the smaller 6x15 wing bolts. So, if we look on our handy dandy pack here, it's going to be this little square right here. These wing bolts will hold on this tabletop for us. I'll go ahead and grab a couple of them. Process started here. Into an issue. I don't know how these things are supposed to work. So, this is why they included wrenches. It's because the threads on these are all gunked up. Maybe. I would never recommend on a quality product that you do what I'm about to do, but since it's me and I have the patience of a toddler, and apparently the clumsiness of one too, I'm going to do this show you probably what not to do in this circumstance. Because for whatever
These are just not going in. There's no small one. The smallest we got. Look at these little bolts. Well, maybe that one's good. Well, let's try another. Well, I'm afraid that was fine. Maybe it's just this one spot. I'm gonna hope it's just this one spot. It's starting to look like it's not just this one spot. Oh man. Slow for it sometimes. The overall build quality's not bad, but when it comes down to the teeny tiny things, this just kind of sucks. Maybe every other one will work. It's starting to be what it looks like, that every other one's gonna work. Which, I guess is good enough. Oh, nope, that one worked. I guess it's good enough, for $110, $120, whatever it is. I would appreciate it if they all worked. One more on this thing. Alright. Now we're cooking hot oil.
Now, I take this floppy little donut. Tighten it down.
Stuck ones. Make sure it's like, oh, wait, alright. Alright. And that is pretty much that.
Not 100% perfect, but it'll do in a pinch. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten some of these nuts on the inside down.
Little wrenches like something, not bad. Definitely cheap. Alright.
There's that. Now, we're going to turn this way. I think. Yep. And you know, this tabletop, it's not bad. I wouldn't put your $1,000 Wagyu beefsteak on there, but then again, if you're cooking $1,000 Wagyu beefsteaks, I don't think you're going to be buying a $120 wood pit on Amazon. Okay. Now, the next thing to go in, out of all this stuff, I had a bag, some stuff in it. Maybe it was in this box. It could have been in this box. It was in this box. This little pouch right here contains some retainer clips, if you want to call them that, for the grill cover thingy. You know what? And let's see, I assume that, yep, we need more of those little black bolts, and and a nut. I'm just gonna put all these bolts right here in the grill cover because that makes sense. And then these little nuts I'll need in there. Okay. So, if I read the instructions carefully, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I did, but you know, try my best. So these little tabs go on the inside here, and you come in from, no, hold on. You come in from this side with the bolt.
I can this little hole right here. Right on the nut. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was actually like really easy. So, let's do it about 3 more times. I know some of the people that watch this channel are probably going to be like, well, why didn't you just go get burn barrel or something? Like, well, that looks ugly. I want this to look nice. Now I'll take the screwdriver.
So now that I have those installed, yep. All right, those are our instructions. So this little thing goes into the bottom here. Just kind of hooks these nuts and washers a little bit for you to sit your flash pan on. If you want to use it like that. And nope, it does sit like that. Okay. Good. All right. And now I need a pole. Right. To be honest with you, I thought the pole was a little bit bigger than the picture. That's what she said. Anyway. I guess. I don't know if it's interchangeable with what? I mean, doesn't that look taller to y'all too? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just a goof. But, you know, I really would have thought that it would have been a little taller. Okay. So, what do I hold that hole in? You might ask. Well, you hold it in with one of these. I've got to remove this pizza pan thing. Nope, it is not one of those. I apologize. It is a big one. So they sent 3 big ones for the pizza stands and stuff. Make sure there's not a divot or a hole in there. That is that. Fix my seat here. Set the rubber somewhere around that neighborhood for that grill. If I can get it to lock in. Grief. There we go. Alright, and then the smaller one goes right up top. Thing I will say, might be a little bit tippy if you put a lot of food on your grills there. All right. Oh, and I forgot. Yes, I can. All right. Now, with these, I have handles. So that I can rotate them without burning myself. Ain't that just so nice? Let's see here. Exactly what I want to do. I'm going to set that one right there. Yep. This right here. Hold your tongue just right, and it'll fit on there. And then you grab another friendly bolt. Come at it. Now, all the pictures that I saw with this grill, they never put the food directly on these grills. I wouldn't either. You're gonna be leaving this thing outside, you know. Clean your grills whenever you go to cook, for sure. But definitely don't put your food directly on them when they're sitting out in the elements. Cut Here it is. Handle 2 has entered the match. Oh, I dropped it. I'll drop that one too. Myself a little bit more room here to work. Didn't work. All right. I wonder if that pan on the bottom is for like if you're cooking a pizza or something. Just don't see how that's going to be very helpful. Maybe it is. Oh. Yes. Perfect. Go over there. All right. Anything left to install on this? I guess so. Max 5 pounds per cook grate. So if you're cooking for the whole family, I would suggest doing it little by little. All right. Well, I guess all that's left now to do is light it up and test it. I'll be right back. So off camera here, I've kind of gathered up some of the cardboard and some dry leaves. I found a box of matches, if you believe that. Penny matches, they say. And we're gonna see if we can get this little thing going here. Penny match is still going. I'm seeing some smoke. Smoke's always good, son. Something tells me that didn't work. Let's try that again. These penny matches were not a penny, by the way. They cost me like 25 cents. So maybe divide up all the matches in this box. Maybe they'll cost a penny a piece. There we go. Got ourselves a little fire starting here. I'll let that cook and see what it does here. It's always good to get these things going, and so you can have a little bit of ash at the bottom to kind of keep everything primed and ready. There were some big spiders in that little pail. Kind of glad we're getting rid of them now. Big old nasty ugly spider. That's what I call a fire. So, if you like what you see here, please like and subscribe to the channel. I like doing these little projects and stuff, and just kind of showing everybody what you can get for the cheap. So I'm going to keep this fire going, and y'all have a good one. Come on. Is it going to focus? Also forgot to tell y'all that it comes with a little bit of a poker grabber thing too, so it is very handy. All right, I'm going to get some s'mores cooking.